Good morning, everybody. We are live, and I hope the sound was good on that intro. Was the sound good, Freddie?
I heard it.
You heard it? Well, good. Well, good, because on my end, for whatever reason, a little technical glitch. Good morning, everybody. First Sip, where you come to get your mind right every single day. And I'm sure that there's someone out there right now. Maybe you're in a great mood. Maybe you're not in a good mood. But at the end of this 15 minutes, right here today, Freddie, what would we like to see happen for that person that's not in that right mindset?
Well, we need that mindset flipped for the rest of the day. You're going to stay focused, stay energized, and dominate the competition.
Dominate the competition, dominate your day, win the day, whatever that means for you. If it means making a sale, great. If it means working on some homework, fantastic. Russ, good morning. So what we do is we invite some folks. Some of these folks we know, some of these folks we don't know. What we're finding is we meet great people like Aaron Beasley, and he knows great people because they kind of hang out together, you might say.
Great people hang out together.
Yeah, great people hang out together. And so if you're out there and you want to share a message, if you have something to say to fire everybody up, to touch hearts, to inspire, to make people think, we'd love to have you on the program. This morning, we have one of Aaron Beasley's recruits, don't we, Freddie?
Absolutely. And neither one of us has ever met him.
Never met him. I said hello to him, but I already know that I like him. He just seems like a good guy. I know Aaron is in the brief time period that I got to know Aaron. So, hey, Scott Wade, welcome to First Sip.
Thank you so much. It's great to be with you today. I appreciate the invitation, and please don't judge me by the character of the company I keep with Aaron Beasley.
Hey, I think you did pretty good on the brother-in-law, the best I can tell, or son-in-law, excuse me.
Yeah, I'll take the brother-in-law part. You know, that's
Well, good deal. Well, welcome to our little program. You know, this is something that we started not too long ago, and you're right. I forgot about the thing that we do, Freddie.
Oh, yeah. First Sip, let's go.
First Sip, let's go.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, man. So I want to get to know Scott Wade a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about your career? I know a little bit, but can you share that with our audience so we kind of know who Scott is?
Like I said a moment ago when we were introducing ourselves before the program, I don't know if I have a lot to say. I'm just a dried up old preacher. I got a degree in chemistry when I went to a Christian University back in the 70s and started working in industry. And I felt that God was leading me on a different path. And, you know, that's kind of a tough thing to do. I was making decent money for a college grad, and I felt God pressing me into to service in the ministry. And if you're not in one of them big places, that's not a real money making thing. But I spent 30 years from the age of 32 through 61. I was a minister, a pastor in the Church of the Nazarene. And so I've got a wife of 45 years and three daughters and accompanying sons-in-laws, and we have 12 grandchildren too. So that's
12 grandchildren. That's fantastic. Well, Scott, you've spent your entire career helping folks get their mind right, sounds like to me.
I hope I did. Sometimes I came away on Sunday mornings more confused than I went in. I hope that they weren't that way.
Well, no. At a church or in ministry that long, surely all you ever dealt with was perfect people, right?
Oh, yeah. Everybody in the church is perfect.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, my motto was, if you want a perfect church, don't come here because you're going to ruin it.
That's exactly right. Well, one of the segments that we do is this right here.
Quote of the day, quote of the day.
And I just think a good quote really goes a long way, doesn't it? Makes you think, inspires you just in a few words. So, Scott, do you have any quotes that you appreciate or would like to share?
Well, man, there's so many after 30 years of ministry and 5 years of writing that I
Yeah.
have. But there's one thing, there's a quote that I look at every day, every morning when I am just kind of preparing myself for the day. It's by Francis Bacon, of all things. Of course, bacon's always good in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Or at night.
And yeah, just bacon's always good. So this is kind of a unique quote. It's, they are ill discoverers who think there is no land when they see nothing but sea. Let me say that again, because that's kind of
Yeah.
what this is.
I like it. It's making me think already, Scott.
Yeah, it doesn't grab you right away, real pithy or anything like that. But my mom taught me that word pithy, and I love to use it.
Hey, that's a good one. I'm going to use it too.
They are ill discoverers who think there is no land when they can see nothing but sea.
They think there's no land when all they can see is sea. I'm going to ask Scott I'm going to ask Mr. Wade to go ahead and explain that one to us.
Well, about 15 years ago, maybe 20, I don't know. And you know, as Freddie mentioned, not well, as he alluded to, maybe not everybody in the church is perfect, and not every situation is perfect. And I found myself, I like to say I was in between churches. I had a pastorate that was a struggle for me, and I guess for the congregation, a real struggle for the congregation, because I found myself without a job, and I was 7 months looking for a place to land. And during that time, it was tough to remember why I was in this work, and that I was going to be okay. I just needed to keep moving forward. There was land on the other side of that sea that I was in. And eventually we landed in the place that was the best ministry that I had, the final ministry of my career, or the pastorate of my career. And it was a fabulous place. I'm glad I waited for the right place to put ashore. That was a good.
Oh, I love that. And sometimes that's what, having the right mindset, we don't know what the future holds. There's anxiety when we don't know what's coming, right? You don't know where that next job or that next sale is going to come from, but then you keep taking action. And sometimes I think about it like finding that land, like it's that next stepping stone. You're taking that step and your foot's in there and you're like, where is it? Right?
Yeah, your foot's got to come down, and sometimes it seems like it's not coming down in the right place. I had several opportunities while I was at sea to land places, but man, it just didn't feel right. I knew there was something right out there, and
Man,
I wanted to keep looking for the right thing to do, and eventually I found it. Along the way, I didn't stop what I was doing. There was a young man that had been in my church and was a friend of mine. I took that time and mentored him in some personal meetings, just kept busy in the ministry. And I would go down to my office. I had an office in the basement. Man, I just kept doing stuff because I knew that I was going to have to put my foot somewhere, and I wanted to be ready.
Well, you had the faith to keep going. You knew that you were still on mission.
Yep.
And I compare it to, let's say an entrepreneur just started a business. And he knows that he is providing a quality service, quality product, but right now he's just spinning his wheels. And month after month, he's breaking even. But he knows he's doing the right thing. He knows he's putting in the work. And 7 months in, 8 months in, bam, it finally hits. The foot finally lands. It's a big deal to stay the course.
It is, and it's so easy to want to be frustrated. And I was looking for just some place to land because money was running out. I hadn't put up a huge nest egg as a pastor, and we really needed to find something. And we waited though until we got what we knew was the right thing for us.
I love that, and I've got to jump in here before we do our final segment and say, in the sales world, or maybe you're looking for a job, right? Any job, maybe it's not in ministry, you're looking for that job, and it can be discouraging, but like you say, you don't settle You don't settle. You wait. You trust the process. You, as Freddie said, you keep doing those things that work, having conversations. You mentored somebody, and then things play out. I just think that wherever somebody out there, whatever position you're in, stay the course. Keep taking action. That's what we're saying this morning. So I'm gonna play this little intro.
Get ready. It's time for the 2-minute skill.
The 2-minute skill, clear, concise communication, 2 minutes or less. Mr. Scott Wade, do you have a message for us this morning?
I do. And this goes to another quote that I used in my own thoughts and planning across the years. And it's this: you can get less done in a year and more done in an hour than you think you can. And so, I've always kind of lived by that in my work, thinking sometimes if you've got a lot to do, you get overwhelmed by the amount of work. Well, the thing to do is just take the next hour. You can get a lot done in an hour. And I found that to be true. Right now, I'm getting ready to do a conference with a church over in Columbia. And man, we're banging it, trying to get the work done. I am. My wife is helping me with the music. We're doing PowerPoint slides. I'm preparing my sermons and just doing all kinds of stuff. And I want to panic, but if I just give myself to the next hour and don't get discouraged, just put down, like Freddie said a moment ago, just keep it going. Don't give up. And so the next hour is important, but also you can get less done in a year. And there's so many variables. In the next hour, there's not as many variables. You can control that. But over the course of a year, there are people, and you know how people are, man, they're going to do screwy things. And so you can get less, because you got to work with people. You got to bring people along. You got to bring them up to speed. When you're a leader, if you don't bring people along with you, if you don't bring them up to speed, you're going to leave them behind, and you're going to just find yourself out for a walk. And so be patient with yourself over the course of a year and realize, what sounds like a great idea at the beginning of the year might take 2 or 3 years to accomplish. So just keep plodding away at it.
I love it. I love it. And what's so funny, when we have these conversations, I was talking to my dad, and I can't remember the name of the principle that he shared with me, but it's very similar to what you were saying. Essentially, whatever deadline, our work will fill up whatever deadline we have, right?
It does.
Wherever you put that deadline, oh man, I've only got an hour. Well, you're going to get a lot done. You're going to get a lot done in that hour because you put that deadline on yourself. And come tax time, when are people most of the time doing their taxes, Freddie? Right? They wait until that last day when they have to do it, right? It takes them a couple of days, but they wait until a couple of days before. Where does that take your mind, Fred?
Well, you tackle the task that's before you. Take advantage of the time you got. And then if you're on a bigger mission, understand that no matter how well you perform, you got to bring up the people around you. Because if you speed past them, if you speed past your coworkers and y'all are trying to get something done together, you're spinning your wheels once you get to a certain point, because you're going to have to turn around and come back and get them.
That's it. Hey, everybody comes along, right? Family, friends, everybody. And that's what we enjoy doing this, just for that very reason, right? I mean, you've got a congregation there and everybody works together to lift everybody up, right? And so what we can do every single morning, we come together, we have folks share a message, we all put our thoughts into it. And I appreciate you joining us this morning.
Does that say momentum on your shirt?
That says, there it is. I'm backwards on the screen. Momentum. That's right. That's the name of the ministry that we founded when I retired from the pastorate 6 years ago, and I've been writing books. And Aaron Beasley's been helping me with some of that. He's a great supporter and encourager. But yeah, Momentum Ministries has been my dream for the past 6 years. I'm enjoying life.
That's awesome.
I love it. And now you have a podcast also, don't you, Scott?
I do. It's called Casual Conversations by Momentum Ministries. There's a lot lot of casual conversations out there, but if you tag it with the By Momentum Ministries, you'll go right to it.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. So look that up. Momentum Ministries, Casual Conversations. I love the title of that. And that's what we're doing here. Casual conversations with good people, encouraging us for the day, right? Any final thoughts, guys, before we let everybody go?
Show up and show out on Friday.
Show up and show out on Friday. Get it done. And there's land. There's land coming. Keep swimming. Stay in that boat. You're going to hit land very soon. Scott, have a great call with that church and continue with that momentum.
All right. Thanks. Great to be with you.
See
See
you.
you, Scott. Bye-bye. See ya.